Getting set up. It's loading. Redirecting to YouTube. 3, 2, 1. Hello, Degens. Welcome to Degenerate Takes. I, of course, am the perfect one, AJ. And with me, as always, is the man with the numbers, the sportsbook whisperer, the college basketball guru, the man I'm looking for one more nickname for to make his introduction even longer, Mr. Noah Engelbretson. Noah, how the hell are you doing today?
Fantastic, AJ. We're doing great.
Bro, I'm doing great as well. And you want to know why I'm doing great, Noah?
I'd love to know why.
Great, because today I hit a Diamondbacks Cubs parlay with baseball. And then I also parlayed that with basketball games. And you know what else I parlayed that with? Hockey games, Noah. And so we are in peak sports season where I can just do whatever the fuck I want with my bets and everything. And I love that so much. But let's get serious, because we are a talk show that talks about sports. And so we got to talk about how the NHL is going, almost getting towards Stanley Cup finals time and everything like that. Let's go into it, Noah. How are you feeling about the NHL season this year?
It's exciting. It's great. The biggest surprise, obviously, being Montreal going from Stanley Cup finals runner-ups last year to the worst team in hockey this year. Granted, last year they did barely squeak into the playoffs, went on a Cinderella run all the way to the Stanley Cup finals, ultimately coming up short, but they look awful. But anyways, other than that, we've got some real exciting races for playoff seeding in most of the divisions and both conferences. So I'm excited to see how this last couple of weeks of the season shapes up.
No, we got an exciting couple of weeks left. I couldn't agree with you more. The Canadiens, they look fucking like Montreal. It's goddamn terrible. Like, they are not playing good hockey. I don't know if their goaltender just can't lift his arms or whatever's going on there, but that's an issue.
Everything's wrong.
Bro, it's bad.
That's your answer. Everything is wrong there.
Absolutely, Noah. Unlike the NBA, we're going to start on the East Coast this time. And let's start with the Atlantic Division. You got the Panthers, Lightnings, and Maple Leafs top 3. Bruins not far behind. However, then the scrubs like the Red Wings, Sabres, Senators, and Canadians, they're all fucking around. I did bet on the Sabres tonight to win. Took them money line. Did not take them on the points.
They were up 1-0 last time I checked.
Well, we love to see that. But Noah, how do you feel about that Atlantic Division? Because personally, Lightning are obviously the most paid, the most talented. Like, they're the team out of there. However, the Panthers playing incredible hockey lately. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, the Panthers should lock up the division. What do they got? They have a 6-point lead right now. Still a lot of games left to be played. So, anything could happen, but the Panthers look like a damn good team. They have all year. The Lightning, they're still good, but not quite as good when they can't run their, salary cap shenanigans. So, more of an even playing field, hopefully this year than last year, where obviously because of, the way the NHL salary cap is and everything, they, bring 2 big hits to their salary that didn't, count towards the regular season. And then they're like fucking 20-30 million over the salary cap, but it's fine.
In postseason, and it's fine. It's bullshit.
Because of, the way the rules are. But
yeah,
it'll be interesting. I expect all the top 4 teams in the Atlantic all to probably make the playoffs. Detroit, obviously too far out of it, but if you're a Red Wings fan, you got to be optimistic about the way this rebuild is going. There's this season has been kind of this signifier of things turning around. They're starting to play some better hockey. They're just not there yet. But yeah, whoever finishes second, third, and fourth, that, much like the top of the Eastern Conference in the NBA, I think between Tampa, Toronto, and Boston, that could go in any order.
It really can, Noah. I'm very much on the same page with you. I do not think the top four is going to change. I just think their seeding might change a little bit, but that's a conversation for later. Let's move on. Staying on the Eastern Conference, the Metropolitan Division. Hurricanes, Rangers, Penguins, and the Caps. All the top four teams, Blue Jackets, Islanders, not far behind, Noah. I love this Hurricanes team. I'm a points guy. I love betting overs. I love taking points and everything like that. And seeing the Hurricanes put up, 7, 8, 9 goals is freaking awesome, especially in hockey and the teams they've been playing. However, I do kind of have a personal bias towards the Penguins, but the Penguins have not been playing great, in my opinion. What are your thoughts on the Metro?
I mean, the Pens just put up 11 goals the other night, which is the most any team scored in a game this season.
Is it really? Oh,
yeah.
I missed that then. I must have missed that.
Yeah, I think they won 11-2 or something like that.
Shit.
Much like the Atlantic, I think Carolina will lock up this division. However, I mean, I wouldn't count out New York or Pittsburgh. Both of those teams are playing, in my opinion, pretty good hockey. Those two will probably finish second, third would be my guess. I'm not sure which order. And then Washington should finish fourth in this division.
Really? You think the Capitals are going to come out and be able to make playoffs?
Well, yeah. I mean, just take a look at the standings, like the top in the Eastern Conference. There's a huge drop off. Now, Washington, the weakest team that's going to be in there, but the 8 teams that are making the playoffs out of the East should be pretty set right now, in my opinion. I don't see anything changing from where it sits right now, even though we have about 15 games left for each team. It's all a matter of how they're ordered seeding wise. Carolina and Florida, I think either of those two could be the number 1 overall seed there, and Washington should get the 8 seed going into the playoffs.
I couldn't agree more. I hope we see it. The Eastern Conference is electric right now. Let's talk about something, though. I will be a little somber about this one because we're going to talk about the Western Conference. So really quick, I just want to have a moment of silence for the Arizona Coyotes and a hockey team in Arizona. RIP. It's been a good run. With that being said, they are goddamn dead last. And by dead last, I mean, Noah, you could not get anything more dead than the Arizona Coyotes right now.
Well, they're better than Montreal. Barely, but they're still better than Montreal. They're not the worst team in the league.
That's like saying your dick's not small. It's just not big. Like, it's fine now. Anyway, in the Central Division on the Western side, we've got the Avalanche, Wild, Predators, and the Blues. Shout out to your Wild. They have made me a lot of money this season, betting on them and everything like that. I love where the Wild are seated right now. I do think in these next 15 games, they can overtake the Avalanche.
That's not going to happen. The Avs
you don't think so?
No, the Avs have way too much of a lead on the rest of the conference and the division. They're gonna unless they slip up, and they haven't been playing the best by their standards as of late, but they're still a damn good team. I expect they should win the President's Trophy for the most points, best record. But I mean, Florida or Carolina could potentially challenge them for that, but they'll be the number 1 team in the Western Conference. No doubt in my mind about that. But, I am excited about the Wild and how they've been playing. Currently on a
damn good
7-game win streak currently. I think they're playing the Penguins tomorrow night. Hopefully keep that going. A lot of games left, a lot of home games left for the Wild, which is good.
You been out to any?
Yeah, I've been to a couple this year. Hopefully a couple more before the season's over, maybe some playoff games, and hopefully capping it off with the Stanley Cup.
Hell yeah, nothing better than going to a Stanley Cup final, Noah. That's got to be a good time. As a Coyotes fan, I don't know anything about that, or even playoffs. What are playoffs in the NHL, honestly?
Which is, the funny thing is, half the teams make it every year. So
yeah, I know.
You only got to be in the top 50% of the league.
I'm very aware, and the Coyotes are sitting nicely tucked at the bottom of the Metropolitan Division, as they should be.
Central Division.
Central. Sorry, yeah. I'm sorry. We're talking. We've been talking a lot of sports today. It's crazy going on. But Noah, let's move on to
I was going to say the rest, though, like the rest of that Central Division, other than the Blackhawks and the Coyotes, as the whole Western Conference is, it's a lot more open than the Eastern Conference at this point. Between Nashville, St. Louis, Dallas, and Winnipeg, they all could make a playoff push. So that'll be an interesting thing to follow here in the Central Division and the Western Conference in general.
Noah, you know how much I love Texas hockey. I love the Stars and what they're doing. I really hope they make a nice playoff push. But let's move on from that and my pipe dreams. Let's go to the Pacific Division. I'm going to be specific about this. The Flames, number one right now, they're playing some, I don't know what's in their sticks or whatever, but they're playing unbelievable hockey right now. The Kings, Oilers, and Knights to round out the top four. Golden Knights, kind of a shock to me being in that top four. I know they had that kind of Cinderella run their first two seasons and everything, making Stanley Cup playoffs. But what their roster is now, I'm honestly shocked to see them being playing as well as they are.
I mean, it's due, and I'm glad, because you're not supposed to fucking make the Stanley Cup finals in your first season as an expansion team. You're supposed to be bad when you're an expansion team.
Look at the Kraken.
The Kraken are doing what you're supposed to do when you're an expansion team. But that's because they changed the rules to how they should be after they utterly fucking messed up the rules. But that's a whole another conversation for another day with Vegas, and let them cherry pick whoever the fuck they wanted. And that was just not chill.
That expansion draft was insane.
But, they probably will squeak into the playoffs here, although they're right on the edge. I'd say it's 50-50 whether or not Vegas makes it into the playoffs. Calgary's playing really good. The rest of this Pacific Division has been kind of absolute dog shit the entire year. Other than Calgary, no, I don't see any of these teams making any sort of a playoff run. So I really don't care who makes it in or what happens there.
I feel that, and your analysis is solid. They've all been dog shit. I have gotten off on a couple wins with taking Ducks and Kraken money line and stuff like that, but that was just bad matchups, bad nights, and everything for the other team, and that's why I won money. But no, I'm with you, bro. I think the Flames, the Kings, the Oilers, and the Knights can have this locked up. Edmonton.
I would say, because based on the formatting with the NHL, obviously top three teams in each division plus 2 wild cards.
Yeah,
I wouldn't be shocked to see the Central Division put in 5 teams and get both of those wild card spots.
Really,
between St. Louis, Dallas, and Winnipeg, I think they steal both the wild card spots, and that'll leave somebody as the odd man out there, whether that's Vegas or Edmonton. I think one of those 2 teams will miss the playoffs.
Unfortunately, I see that being the Knights, as Edmonton's hockey. I don't know. Fortunately, I don't know if you've watched the Oilers play lately, but they've been playing really goddamn good hockey. They are crisp, they are clean, they are fun to watch on the ice. Really enjoying them right now. The LA Kings, on the other hand,
they're a little bit of a surprise. I'm shocked
honestly,
that they're having a decent season, because I didn't expect them to do anything this year.
Neither did I. And, only being someone who's really been into hockey for the last 2 years, seeing the Kings do so well and watching them play, though, I don't see not fun. It's not fundamental hockey. It's not good hockey. It's, what they can just kind of throw together. But hey, if it works, it works. Noah, do you have any thoughts before we sign off on the Degenerates today?
Minnesota Wild, best team the organization's ever had. Better do something with that this year. Bring home the cup, baby. Let's go Wild.
Hell yeah, bro. I'd love nothing more than to see a Wild do that so that we can have a good time on this podcast. Could you imagine the episode we'd have if one of our teams like won a championship? Bro, that episode would be electric.
I've had too many teams of mine have these great regular seasons and come up short. I feel like I'm due, and not due for one. I'm due for two. I'm due for the Suns. I'm due for the Suns and the Wild to both win. And then, you know what? If that happens, I'm good for another like decade. Like I can ride that high. I can ride that high for a good 5-10 years or so. If I get two in the same, within a period of like a month or two of each other.
Absolutely. And you just had the Packers re-sign Rodgers, so you are looking good as a sports fan, whereas I am shitting my pants knowing that the Cardinals are going to pay Kyler Murray way too much money, but that's a conversation for later. Noah, it's been a hell of a time, but Degens, we will be live tomorrow night covering the Bucks and the Nets, live streaming the whole game because that's what we do here on Degenerate Takes. Live betting, live reactions, all of that. We'll see you next time.